Hello, I am host Gabby. I am here to hostess Gabby. I am here to hostess and present you the latest HSK podcast. We have 3 esteemed and highly anticipated guests today. These guests are our first guest, also known as Dad to those of us here.
Welcome. I welcome myself to you.
Oh, thank you for that.
Hi, Gary.
Hello.
Oh, it's been such a long time.
Yeah, I know. I was so relieved when I was able to book you tonight because, as you know, you were pretty booked up.
Thanks for the coffee. It was lovely.
Actually, you squeezed me in, so I thought I'd prepare this for you.
I wonder if we can't get that camera moving on a tower so we can get some close-ups.
Oh, yeah.
Because it seems like we're a long way away. That's all. Is that possible? Can I get the assistant in? Is there an assistant?
Yes, our third guest and assistant Tilly. If you could present yourself to the camera.
She's assistant, more of a coffee assistant. I was thinking of the actual assistant.
Our
Technical support assistant.
Yeah.
That's it. Over there.
our second guest, also known as MJ. Please present yourself.
Thanks for having me on the show, guys. Really, it's a great honour to be here.
Can we get the, before you sit down, can we get the camera on a moving? We've got no way of doing close-ups here, and I think in a
Maybe just stuff down.
program like this, you need to have the close-ups.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
What do you think? Can you arrange that with
Okay.
Celia, and we'll continue on. The long shots.
Yes,
Long Johns.
we have a.
Call me Long John. We have a serious agenda tonight, don't we, Gav? Is
Yes,
that right?
that's correct.
In the memo I said about a serious agenda.
Yes, that's correct. There is a court hearing tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
John Verhoeven will be representing us as always.
I do want to talk about that. Where I'm the accused. And what was the accusation exactly?
Was it the intervention order?
Breach.
Breach.
Can I get the fan honest?
Yeah, I'll let the assistants know when they return. Yeah, so that's happening tomorrow. Is that correct? John will be representing us?
John Verhoeven. The great John Verhoeven will be representing us, and at a very reasonable price. Oh no, it's not that, it's excuse me, can you put the fan on still? Thank you. Down, back down one. Cool.
Sure is a hot night.
It's a stinker. Turn that music up, please, too. I figure you haven't got Gavin to chop up.
Oh.
So come over it. No, I meant the whole thing was great.
Yeah, I know.
That's it, now we're talking. And around. There we go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
What about when I sit down and take my place?
then you just push the back of it.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct. So what was the matter on this for tomorrow? Was
I think we should get our special guest, number 2.
yeah.
Number 2, I ain't ready to talk about that. Number 2,
Yeah, the matter.
can you move over to your spot?
Well, the particular matter is, of course, the ABO against the scum that live at number 7.
Can you define the scum on packed food?
Yeah.
Till they sit down, they make a big fuss all the time.
Well, his name's Jason, and he seems to think it's okay to give people a hard time because he's a drug dealer, and
For who?
husband of many wives.
You've got 2 wives up there.
So
Trying to raise 2 families in one house, a house commission house. Not being honest with housing about it. He's selling marijuana for Greg Hood,
yeah, Greg Hood.
and he said that I give up Greg Hood.
No good, Greg Hood.
Well, I did give up Greg Hood because he was to be blamed.
And we're proud of it.
I'm not proud of it at all. Will you stop saying stupid things like that? It's not something to be proud or not proud of, or ashamed of. It's something that you do because you're a true and faithful witness, and you're an honest, upstanding member of your community, putting in, doing your bit
True.
to stop your children from buying these drugs. And because of that, he tried to beat me up, and I knocked him out 3 times, and that's the actual fact of the matter. And to save his life, I went to the police instead of engaging further in battle and killing him, because that's what was going to happen. So I thought better that I don't want to be a murderer, and I don't want, you to be a grass smoker.
Of course, I wouldn't do that, especially not from.
So I don't go out of my way to make friends with these people. When they talk to me, I don't talk back. I ignore them and keep walking, and that's what upset Greg Wood did that. And there's more to it than that, but this guy decided to mention all that. And can you get that out of my face, please?
Yeah, and sorry, but nevertheless, yeah, we've got that hearing tomorrow, and it involves him and his son, who has been kicking down the fence, the front fence, and that
While I was asleep.
for no good reason. And I had to approach him over that.
We do have a video. Are we able to play a video?
Yeah, one. We could probably attach it
It's been uploaded there?
later on. No, it hasn't. As a matter of fact.
Well, these things should be uploaded for that reason.
They should. But, I had to go out there and confront them on my own. There was about 5 of them.
They're all adults.
One of them including Jason himself, who threatened to cut my head off. Twice. And, yeah, this was after the son, Michael, kicked the fence down, and, I wasn't even out there when that happened. I just walked out the front, and I look at them, and then I keep walking, and then I stop, and I turn around, and there's this kid there, this little girl that's just staring at me with a little smirk on her face, and I turn around, and the front fence has collapsed. So, I run over there, I don't run, but I walk over there, and I'm like, oh, something's got to be done about this. So I grab the phone out, and I ring the police.
Mm-hmm.
After ringing housing, of course. So, and I did that in front of them.
Let's shake your hand for that.
I didn't want to escalate the matter. I didn't want to engage in physical conflict with a bunch of kids, And so, for their benefit, I decided to let the police handle the matter. And
For their safety.
yeah, for their safety.
Obviously they know what they're doing. Kicking down people's fences. I was here on this couch asleep.
Yes. Nevertheless, they started. The police didn't show up at that point. Actually, they didn't show up the entire day. Now that I remember. Yeah, they didn't show up. But
What came out?
yeah, Dad eventually came out, but this was after, and
I knew about it.
yeah, once I went in there and told him. But what happened beforehand was these kids had started on me. Specifically, this Michael only had his mate there with him, and he thought he was real tough. So they rode down the alley, and then they stopped. And this is funny because it's on camera and you'll see it. And I pulled the film camera out, right? And they got on their bikes and they rode down the alley. And then just out of my vision, and they stopped, right? And I continued walking towards the fence side. And then they are coming back. And they're like, oh, stop filming. Or we'll smash your head in and that. And I said, I don't want to talk to you. I've called the police. I don't want any trouble.
How did that make you feel? It must have been being there on your own, it must have been pretty,
Nerve-wracking.
yeah.
I won't lie, it was scary. It was pretty shocking, I mean, and then on top of that, this 4-eyed guy, his brother, decided to come down as well and act tough. I thought this kid was alright. And he's come down and he's decided to threaten me as well. You know, call me a wannabe, which I don't even know what that means. And, you know, I mean, so, yeah, that was pretty shocking in itself, honestly, to see how people's true colours when, you know, they have the freedom to do what they want, you know, the liberty. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I don't know what anyone else thinks of the matter, but that's the matter in question here we're talking about.
Oh. So what's the... So who is the PSIO against? For tomorrow, that's being held tomorrow.
It's against Jason, and there's another one against Michael.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're going for.
So I'm taking the one out against Jason, he's taking one out against Michael. So it's father and son against father and son. But having said that, I've had an altercation with him and his many wives, the many mothers. We call it the house of many mothers. And I told him straight, come out and finish it here. This doesn't have to go on. Let's finish it in the court, in the street here. And he's obviously got too scared and been hiding in the house since.
Have you had any previous interactions with this Jason?
Yeah, Cole West's house. I nearly knocked him out at Cole West's house, but he begged and grovelled for me not to. So I didn't, and I said to him then, because he was, Cole West was supplying the dope off Greg Hood. Would go to Cole West, and then he would distribute it out to these meter mates. And so anyway, he was acting all smart one day there, and he had this air of arrogance about him, which I didn't like. And I known him right there and then. I said, well, come on then, you dog. You're not going to fucking go. I'll smash your head in right now, right here. I don't care. I was just going to get up and smash his head in. And he started nearly crying and, oh, boo-hoo-hoo, no, I won't do it again. I said, don't make me regret it, Jason. If you ever do it, don't make me regret not smashing your head today. That's what I said. Yeah. And now he's getting smart in front of his wives and it's just being a goose. He knows what's going to come to him.
Yep.
Obviously, Greg hadn't told him the story, the true story, where I knocked him out 3 times, which I did.
That's right. We also had some other...
Greg was a local ice dealer / weed dealer who rapes any woman he can. He rapes. So, and he's also a registered informant, so it's hard to... He doesn't go to jail. He's never been to prison, never been charged. He sells drugs to the police. And, you know, they supply him. And I was the first person to ever get a charge on him. So, out of all the cops around here, all the detectives, it was me. I got a charge on him. So, and I did. I got him convicted, charged and convicted. That's right. It was quite an achievement, I thought.
Yes, I agree.
Quite an achievement.
Definitely. That should have been given an award.
Pass that on. So yeah, but look, there's ongoing proof about that because today we had the police here again, and MJ he'd had enough of year 12 apparently. That's flashing. Yeah, losing flashing.
Apparently not.
No, it's just saying that it's just still recording.
So, they were here. Mr. Baker was here too. It was a sergeant, Mr. Baker, and 2 constables. And they came with a divvy van, so they were prepared to arrest and a pursuit car. And the reason was the neighbours once again, Jason and his crowd, they rang up the police saying they heard shouting coming from our house. And they said, what happened? And I said, MJ said I was nothing but a cunt. And I screamed out all the reasons why I wasn't. And that was it. And they accepted that and left. But I remember when they were here, they shook my hand in the passage, Mr. Baker did. Because Mr. Baker was the arresting officer of Greg.
Right.
It's funny how it all comes around.
Yeah, it does. It all comes full circle.
So it's good.
Yep.
It's quite happy.
Speaking of the neighbours, we have other news regarding court tomorrow. Sue McLaughlin is a defendant, the accused, and the informant is Hall, Corporal Hall.
On what case?
I'm not sure, but it's a criminal listing, so...
Perhaps it's a bridge?
Oh, the person might be giving false evidence.
So I just thought that was worth mentioning.
Yeah, that's worth mentioning. 100%.
So that will be happening tomorrow as well.
Ah, so that's why they were so gunning for us to get arrested.
Yeah. That's why they're playing the game so deliciously. Interesting. So have you checked the listings?
Yeah, I did.
Is MJ on there?
No. I think that's in the family court though, so that's probably why it's not yet. So they do the magistrates civil and criminal listings, but they do
Goody gumdrops.
Yeah.
So I think we should find out how that goes.
Yeah, I agree.
She'll plead not guilty probably and I'll be asked to witness, which I'm happy to do.
Yes.
This is the way to go.
Praise the Lord.
You don't just win the street fight, you win the court fight as well. You don't, this is what I taught Greg a little lesson. He thought he could just, I don't know what he was trying to do that day, he threw a punch. Sneako, hit me the first one. Second one I blocked, the third one I ducked, and then I just knocked him out. And then he got up again, kept going, so I kept jabbing, whack, whack, whack. Eventually knocked him out again. That time he went over the highway railing, got back up, kept going, started knocked him out again. And this time I was on top of him and I was flogging him. And I was just going to finish him and I was wrecking him. He wasn't getting back up. And then his brothers come over and his name's
Simon.
Simon Hood. He's got a different last name. During the course of that attack, and I grabbed him while I had grabbed, Simon didn't get punched, I grabbed him by the shoulder, I threw him on top of his brother, and in the course of that, his hat came flying off, and I saw the big bald spot, and that was it for me. I was just like, nah, I've had enough today. But anyway, they gave in and they surrendered and walked off.
Like when a creature shows...
And Uncle Bill was there and he, incidentally, he set it all up. It was all a long story. Like the time when he tried to kill me down at Genesis Street, when you saw...
Yeah,
you want to describe what you saw that day?
It was a pretty scary situation. What was it, 4?
There was one of me.
4 o'clock in the morning?
Yep, it was.
It was before sunrise, well before sunrise. And Dad had to go to Melbourne for an appointment. And I received a call, or message, wasn't it? One message to ring a taxi. So I rang the taxi and I went down there and there were cars around. There was one pulling out down Lee, the driver's driveway. There were, you could see, I thought I saw some people hiding, and there were other cars up the road.
Behind lampposts and stuff like that. Just describe that, what they were hiding behind.
There's a big street light. It's made out of, I think, cement. And I saw someone hiding behind it, which turns out they saw that too. And then there was activity on the left up the road a bit, and then there was another car a couple of houses up, and that one behind.
So anyway, how many people did you see?
Fair few people, so maybe at least 5. I think at least 5, and that's not including all the cars. So yeah. And what year did that?
Doesn't matter, we're not here to talk about that, we're here to talk about tomorrow's case.
Yeah.
And I just think it was very fortunate of you to come around in that taxi and that there was a taxi available so quickly. Because I wouldn't be here. My own brother once again tried to kill me.
I remember at the time I was
Same way as Lee McGuire ended up dead. Yeah, that's right. Rest in peace, Lee. I like Lee. Lethal Lee.
It was pretty scary that night. I remember thinking that as when the
Alright, so anyways, can we talk about something else, or
Court tomorrow. Let's.
do you really want to be a hostess, or is that it? We done?
I think that really covers what we talked about before.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Go and see John tomorrow.
Alright, have a good night.
Thanks for coming, guys. This has been the HSK Podcast.
Part 2 tomorrow. So what happened afterwards.